Good afternoon, dear learners. Welcome to the NMS studio. So today we are going to discuss about the lesson 9 of level B environmental studies, that is conservation of soil and forest. So the point of discussion today is what are the type of soil, how the soil is good for different crop, and how we can prepare the farm before sowing, and after that we will also know about how to manage our field, and thereafter we will also learn the things that to be kept in mind to before giving the fertilizer as well as manure. So let's learn about the soil, or what is soil. Soil actually the one of the 5 elements through which we can say that our terrestrial earth has been made. So we can say that the earth is basis of our life. Actually all the type of plant, forest, they grow on our soil, and from this plant there we can get the various types of cereal, vegetable, fruit as well as flowers, and they all have their economic importance. Like like the cereal and pulse, they act as a food crop, while the vegetables provide us many important vitamins, minerals and nutrients. Same is also for the fruit, and flowers are mostly used for our aesthetic purpose. So we can say that on growing plants on the soil we can derive various benefit from our surrounding, from our body, or for other purposes as well. So after that let's learn about how to check a soil for their health, or how we can identify the different types of soil. So if a farmer or you can also take up some amount of soil and you can mix it in the water. If you can find that the water is muddy in nature, you can say that the soil is high in clay type of particle, or otherwise you can find that some of the soil particles got settled down at the end of the beaker, or we can say that at the bottom of the beaker. So in that case we can say that the soil is high in sand type of particles. So in this image you can see this picture where a person is performing the same type of the operation. So after that let's learn about the organic matter or soil humus. It is called that the organic matter determines the soil health. So here we can say that if the organic matter content of a soil is very high, then the soil health is also very good. So this organic matter actually found mostly in the top layer of the soil. So why it is found in the top layer of the soil? Because from the deposition of the plant leaf, plant twigs, also the plant stem, they got deposited on the soil layer, and after some time they got decomposed, and after that they transform into soil organic matter. So this organic matter is highly fertile in nature, because it contains the higher amount of organic carbon, soil nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium and other type of micronutrient. So when we apply the higher amount of organic matter in the soil becomes rich in these type of nutrient, and as a result the topsoil becomes most fertile. So for this fertility, this top layer of the soil is considered as a farmer's wealth, because if a topsoil is nutrient rich, the farmer will get higher production from their field and they can sell it at higher price, or they can earn a reasonable amount of profit by selling that crop. So that's why it is called farmer's wealth. Apart from that, this organic matter also stabilizes the soil in the sense that it can increase the soil porosity as well as soil water holding capacity. As a result, soil will not get eroded and soil conservation will be very good. So now let's learn about what are the sources of the soil organic matter, or in the soil from where this organic matter comes. There are actually three sources. One is plant root, another one is the leaves and twigs, and third one is soil microbes. In case of plant root, we know that the plant use their root for the uptake of minerals as well as nutrients from the soil, and when a plant dies, their roots also die. As a result, after the some amount of time, the soil microbes work upon this plant root and they get decomposed. So this plant matter is also a good source of soil organic matter. After that, it comes leaves and twigs, and we know that the plant shed the leaves and twigs at the various season, at the various time for their physiological processes and other metabolic requirement. So when these leaves and twigs fall on the soil, they also got converted into soil organic matter and they also form the soil humus or soil organic matter. And the third group is soil microbes. That is, they are very much teeny organisms. They actually living in various soil pore spaces on the plant root as well as plant leaf. And these soil microbes can be fungi, bacteria, virus, and protozoa or nematode. And these soil microbes also form a part of soil organic matter, because when they die, they also take part in the pool of soil organic matter. Now let's learn about what are the various types of soil that are commonly found in our surrounding. The first type of soil is alluvial soil. Actually, this alluvial type of soil is mostly found around the river or stream, or where there is a source of water and the water is carrying lot of sediments with it, and when the water cannot carry these sediments with it, these sediments got deposited around the river or stream, and as a result this alluvial soil is formed. So this alluvial soil is considered very much fertile for crop production, because they can support the numerous type of plants for their growth, and for this reason this alluvial soil is considered as one of the most productive soil of the world. Next is coming that is the clay soil. A soil is called clay when it has a high amount of clay type of particle, and we all know that soil has generally three type of particle, that is sand, silt and clay. However, the clay particle is the most reactive in nature, and when these clay particles are high in the soil will have the higher cation exchange capacity, water holding capacity, as well as the nutrient retention capacity. So as a result, this soil will be highly fertile in nature, and it can support the various types of plant. However, there is one main problem in the clay soil is there is a issue of aeration in this type of soil. Actually, this clay type of soil is containing very small, very high amount of micropore, and we all know that through the micropore the water cannot pass very easily. So as a result, the clay soil becomes waterlogged and there may be the issue of oxygen stress during the plant growth and development. Third group is, that is sandy soil. Here in this sandy soil, the sand particle will be more, and as a result we all know that the sand particles has lower cation exchange capacity as well as nutrient retention capacity. These sandy soils are not much fertile in nature. So this sandy type of soil does not support the various types of plant. However, they may be used for various types of recreation purpose or grazing, as this sandy soil supports the growth of small number of grasses in it. So our fourth group is, that is acidic soil. Actually the acidic soil is a problematic soil because this type of soil has a very low pH, and due to this low pH there is toxicity of iron, aluminium as well as hydrogen ion, and due to this toxicity the plant roots gets damaged and acidic soil cannot support the wide range of plants in it. One of the plant that is highly suitable in acidic soil, that is rice. In case of rice, we all know that there is water logging technique, and due to this water logging technique, here actually the soil pH gets converted into neutrality, and acidic soil can support the higher amount of plants as well as nutrient if proper management practices can be taken up. So after that, let's learn about what are the type of soil, and one is the clay soil. We have already discussed that. Then here the particles are very small and it has a high capacity to hold the water for a longer period of time. Particularly this soil is good for cultivation of rice, sugarcane, cotton as well as gram. Now let's understand about the sandy soil. In the sandy soil there are 60% or more particles are of sand. They have a capacity to soak a lot amount of water. However, they have the less capacity to retain it. However, in this soil the weeding and hoeing operations are very much easy to do, and also the various types of cucurbitaceous plants like watermelon, melon or other type of plant like potato, sweet potato and groundnut, they can be grown. Coming to our next group, that is the alluvial soil. It is particularly suitable for most of the crops. It is relatively new in their development stage. Actually in this soil the horizon development is much less because the sediments get deposited every year, and as we have discussed that these soils are mostly found near the river, lake and ocean. Coming to our third group is, that is acidic soil or infertile land. Actually we have already discussed that the acidic soil is a problematic soil, and due to its low pH, this low pH makes this soil infertile in nature. It is actually not suitable for farming. If we want to go for farming, we can mix the lime with it to soil to make it fit for cultivation. So dear learners, let's take a break. After that we will learn about what are the types of soil conservation technique.
प्रकाशित करने, राहों को आलोकित करने। हम अपना दीपक स्वयं बने, हम अपना रास्ता स्वयं चुने।
अपना दीपक स्वयं बने, हम अपना रास्ता स्वयं चुने।
जीवन ये प्रकाशित करने, राहों को आलोकित करने।
धन साधन समय की सीमा से विद्यालय जो मुक्त हो,
संसाधन समय की सीमा से विद्यालय जो मुक्त हो।
कभी पढ़े हम कहीं पढ़े, वे विषय की लोच से युक्त हो।
कभी पढ़े हम कहीं पढ़े, वह विषय की लोच से युक्त हो।
मित्रों हम उठे और जागे,
मंजिल आने की ध्वनि सुने। हम अपना दीपक स्वयं बने, हम अपना रास्ता स्वयं चुने।
जीवन ये प्रकाशित करने, राहों को आलोकित करने।
राष्ट्रीय मुक्त विद्यालय का है द्वार खुला सबकी खातिर।
शिक्षा परीक्षा का अवसर एक बार ही क्यों मिलता फिर।
शिक्षा परीक्षा का अवसर एक बार ही क्यों मिलता फिर। दुनिया में इसके केंद्र बहुत,
कोई मन चाहा केंद्र चुने। हम अपना दीपक स्वयं बने, हम अपना रास्ता स्वयं चुने। कोई मन चाहा केंद्र चुने।
Welcome back, dear learners. So we are discussing about various types of soil. So after that we will learn about what are the types of soil pollution and how is it affecting us. So before going to this section, let's learn about the what are the crops and how the crops can be grown on a soil to harvest this crop successfully. So to grow a crop, there are various sequential steps like preparation of farm, sowing, seed treatment, after that weeding and digging, thereafter irrigation, fertilizer application, and lastly the plant protection and harvesting. So let's learn this technique one by one. So our first concern is the field preparation. So before going to any type of cultivation, we must prepare the field to sowing here as well as to grow the crops here. So in this field preparation technique, there are various methods that can be employed here, that is cultivation, hoeing or tilling. So actually these methods can be employed on the land if there is proper moisture content. So first we need to check the moisture content in the soil, and after that we will go for field preparation. Thereafter there is the technique called, or we can say there is a sequential steps, that is called seed treatment, that is to be done before sowing a seed. So why a seed treatment is required before sowing? Actually in the soil there are lot of microbes present in the soil, and they can infect our seed, and our seed quality may get deteriorated. So for this reason the seeds are treated with various types of chemicals like carbendazim, hyran or captan. Apart from that, they may be treated with biofertilizer like rhizobium culture. They actually enrich the nitrogen content of the seed. There is also the phosphate solubilizing biofertilizer culture, that we can say that is PSB culture or trichoderma. After that we sow the seed in the field, and after few days we can see that there are growth of lot of other plant on the fields. These other plants are actually called weed, and they must be eliminated from our field to get our desired production. So we call this elimination technique as a weeding. So these weeds actually compete with main crops, that may be rice, wheat or maize, for water, nutrients or sunlight. And another component is these weeds grow faster than the crop. As a result, the crop growth or crop health may get deteriorated. So this weeding can be done with the help of any type of chemicals like weedicide. Apart from that, they may be done through manual digging as well. So our next step is that is irrigation. So actually the irrigation is artificial application of water in the soil. So if a plant actually needs water for their growth as well as metabolic processes, and this water a plant may get from rainfall as well as irrigation. And we all know that in our India, monsoon is very much erratic in nature, and the rainfall is not timely. Therefore we must ensure irrigation to our crop. So if the required amount of crops is not given to our plant may get deteriorated, and we will not get our desired result. After that, there is called fertilization. Actually plants are like very much human beings. They also need various type of nutrients and water for their growth and development. And many a times the soil where a plant is grown, they may not contain the sufficient amount of nutrient to support our plant. So in that case, these nutrients must be applied from a external source, or we can say that artificial source, and this artificial source may be manure as well as fertilizer. However, excessive application of manure and fertilizer is harmful for the soil. However, if we go for organic farming, or we can go for the organic matter matter addition in the soil, it can actually enrich our soil in nutrient, and as a result the organic crops will be healthier as well as tastier. So our the next step is plant protection. Actually a plant is many times affected by various types of insects, virus as well as bacteria, and if they are not managed properly, entire crop may be lost. So for this reason the various types of pesticides are available in the market that may be applied to our crop to keep it protected from the any type of pest. However, these types of chemicals are very much toxic in nature. If any kind of residues are left on plant or on their leaves, and if we can consume it, they actually get entered into the food chain, and which is particularly harmful for human. For this reason we must prefer to use organic pesticide because they are cheaper, healthier option than the chemical pesticides. So our last step is, that is harvesting. Harvesting is actually the final execution of our cultivation work. So through this harvesting, or we can say through the proper harvesting, desired result or desired yield may be achieved. So for this reason harvesting must be done at proper time and proper crop growth stage, and we must keep in mind that the crop should be dry and crunchy at the time of harvesting, and also we must go for sorting as well as after the harvesting to grade our produce in different categories as well as to fetch the better price in the market. So let's understand about what are the effect of weather and climate of our crop production. Weather, we can say it is a state of atmosphere at a specific time and place. It actually includes temperature, humidity, wind speed as well as precipitation. So all crops cannot be sown in the all weathers as well as same climate. So we must keep in mind that we must choose our crop according to the crop season and weather pattern, otherwise our entire crop or entire crop field may get destroyed. So now let's learn about the different type of crop. There are actually Rabi crop, Kharif crop as well as Zaid crop. The Rabi crops are sown during the November, April, and they are harvested during the March, April period. They are mostly wheat, oat and gram, while the Kharif crops are sown in July, August and harvested at the end of November. It may be rice, maize, millet, sugarcane or cotton. And the third group is, that is the Zaid crop. They are sown while the fields are actually vacant between the harvesting of Rabi crop and the sowing of Kharif crop. They are mainly the short duration crop like sunflower, melon, watermelon. Here they are actually sown in March, April period, and they are harvested on the onset of rainy season. So now let's learn about the soil conservation or soil pollution. Actually, due to the soil pollution or soil erosion, the soil gets deteriorated or we lost the valuable soil resource. So soil conservation means the prevention of soil to become polluted as well as to become eroded. So we can say that the soil pollution means actually damage to the soil. And what are the sources of this soil pollution? Actually, soil pollution may occur from the different type of source. First source may be the addition of excessive type the addition of excessive amount of chemicals like pesticide, weedicide or chemical fertilizer in the soil. Our next source may be the addition of the various types of objects like glass, iron, polythene within the soil, and which may actually affect the functioning of the soil. So therefore we must care so that this type of chemical or material, they do not get mixed in the soil and soil can function properly. So in the today's class we have learned about the soil and how we can protect our soil from pollution as well as erosion. So in the next class we will come with another topic. Till then, thank you.